Welcome to episode 10 of Bee's Travelogue. After months of planning and 3 weeks vacation in Thailand, I had finally landed at Incheon Airport in South Korea. I bought my bus ticket to Mokpo and installed my pre-ordered SIM card while I waited for the bus to depart. The bus ride is approximately 5.5 hours and we made one stop. I was able to get some cash from an ATM. The director of my school and his wife picked me up at the bus station, took me to dinner and grocery shopping, and dropped me off at a hotel. The next day was Sunday and they were busy, so I decided to explore the city of Namak by myself. I went straight south from my hotel until I reached the river. I later learned it was the Yongsan River that was going all the way to the sea through Mokpo. I had passed by Lotte department store and now came through a beautiful park on my way back to the hotel. On Monday, October 30th, I started my first day at school. I met the former teacher who introduced me to all of her classes and showed me which books to use. I tried very hard learning all the names and remembering all the faces. It was so exciting to meet the students. I was still living at the hotel, eating ramen for dinner. The following day in the morning, we went to the hospital for my checkup. And then the director and his wife took me for an elaborate lunch. For dinner, I took myself out to a restaurant and ate this wonderful salad. But I realized very quickly that eating out in Korea would be very expensive. In late October, the sky was a wonderful blue, and in the sunlight, everything looked very beautiful on my morning walks. On Wednesday, I finally got to move into my apartment. The director picked me up and took me to the apartment where the former teacher was just moving out to return to her home country while I was moving in. So I first cleaned everything real quickly before heading to school at 2 p.m. so that I had everything ready and waiting for me when I came home. I really enjoyed the view from my window. I took pictures in any kind of weather and also a lot of pictures at night. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my school let out at 9:20. Tuesday, Thursday, I was done at 7:50 in the evening. So I spent a lot of time walking around at nighttime. The park especially was a lot of fun at night with lots of different colors, neon colors, little statues. Everyone was friendly. I really have to say a lot of people welcomed me and someone offered to take my picture here. Someone else photobombed my photo here, but in a very joyful and sweet manner. Food was very expensive at first, so I started to look around for alternatives. This is my trash collection bin on the street outside my building. In Namak and almost everywhere else in Korea, 7-Elevens and GS24 convenience stores are everywhere. Walking around the city, I saw a lot of familiar faces from my K-drama shows on advertisement signs. I found a Dunkin' Donuts at Lotte outlets. I tried a burger place And then I went for Korean fried chicken, which is very famous. I could eat by myself, but I had to order a minimum order of at least 20,000 won. I then found a grocery store to try to make my dinners a little more affordable and used the leftover chicken with salad. Around this time, on a beautiful weekend day, I took the bus to Mokpo to explore the city and ended up spending an entire day on the cable car. Please join me for episode 11. Shopping for groceries, I discovered that they're very expensive in South Korea and that a lot of fruits and vegetables are packaged in family sizes that are very expensive. On a rather gray weekend day, I took the bus to Hadang, which is right between Namak and Mokpo, and got off at the Mega Box to watch a movie. This time it was an American Marvel movie with Korean subtitles. When I got out of the movie theater, it had turned dark, and all the buildings around me were lit up beautifully. The streets were lined with lots of seafood restaurants, and each of them had a tank outside with various sea creatures. As I got toward the river, the number of restaurants increased and the area got much more touristy and crowded with people. I found these lovey-dovey heart-shaped arches that were neon-colored and kept changing colors. And then by the riverside promenade, there was a concert going on, so I stopped to listen for a while. As I was standing and watching, a man came up to me and handed me one of his hand warmers, which I thought was really nice. I think he and his wife were leaving and he saw that I wasn't wearing a very warm jacket yet and decided to give me his hand warmers. While every weekday at 2 o'clock I went to my school to clean the classroom and teach the children, on the weekends I would take the bus and explore. Having spotted what looked like a farmer's market from one of the bus rides, I decided to go back and discovered Dongbu Market. Dongbu means farmer in Korean, and so this is just the biggest farmer's market in Mokpo. For farmers markets, it's best to have cash on hand. Usually the women will prepare bowls and tell you the price for each bowl, and you would get the entire bowl, not just some of it, but whatever they put in a bowl is what they will sell you for the price that they tell you. Most items were at least 10,000 won, sometimes more. And once you purchased a bowl, they would just dump it in a plastic bag and you would take it with you. I boarded the bus like a Korean ajuma with all my boxes and bags, trying to get it all in. At night, I watched this beautiful sunset from my building. Please join me for episode 11 at the Mokpo Marine Cable Car. Thanks for watching.